So hello everybody, we're now gonna play Tannenbaum from the Castles of Dr. Creep. Christmas sure has came early today for this game. So, you might be wondering why there's music playing, but well, music eventually starts playing whenever there's been a demo or something which has played, like in the past update or so. Now I'm gonna explain why I'm skipping levels, because you might be wondering that at this point. Basically, well, we went from this level to this one level, then we went all the way back up here to this level. So why did we skip Callenwald and Alternation as well? I want to do the game into a growing order, difficulty-wise, playing the game from the easiest level to the hardest one. So yeah, while this level is, I'd say, an intermediate castle, this one is probably one of the hardest castles of the game, but at least it's a good castle. I'm actually looking forward to play this one because it's really neat. But right now, we're gonna play a level stuck inside a German Christmas tree, Tannenbaum. And speaking of Christmas, thank you for giving me a key right at the beginning of the level. So this level is just a little bit harder than the previous levels that we've seen so far. It's just in the same difficulty, I'd say, than Sylvania, and probably easier because there's no real surefire way of just getting stuck into the level like you could into the very first room of the previous castle. So this is already, well, pretty easier. So, one of the things that you're gonna notice at this point is, well, how Frankenstein monsters are set up. I'm up here, you idiot. Yeah, if you go too far along on a platform which is higher than the one on the Frankenstein, they tend to take really weird paths in order to get to you, because they just tend to go at you in a more horizontal line or something. And then they can just slide into a, into a rope where they just get stuck forever. Great going, guys. I appreciate your brain work. But yeah, so you just have rows of Frankensteins and all of this that you need to dispose in the same exact way, so you need to do several rounds of something, but, well, you know what? We're just gonna cut the chase. What are you gonna do now? After all, I have 3 lives, and you only have 1, so I'm obviously the winner. And if you're wondering about how you see lives and all of this, well, I'm just gonna show that whenever we'll go into a map transition or something, so that, well, you can see how this thing actually works. And yeah, make sure that the gun is lowered all the way here, because we're gonna need to go to this door later, and there's no other possibility to set it up in another position once that we've left. And by the way, yeah, this is how you see how much lives you have. You see the one up, which is currently in yellow, in a yellow font. Well, yellow font means that we've lost 1 life and we have 2 left. If we die again, well, it's gonna turn red. And if we die once more, then it's game over and we have to restart the castle from the beginning. So, since we don't want to die, we're just gonna be a coward and hide behind an electrical machine. As efficient as always. I really don't know why they even try going for you in all of this when it's obvious that they're going to die. And now you're probably wondering, why am I not killing the last Frankenstein too? Because I'm a sissy? No, obviously not. Because I'm smart. Because this thing up here, well, it's already opened up, so why would I close a trapdoor, which is probably just going to fuck myself over, so yeah. I'm more concerned about my survival than the slaughter of poor, innocent people, which probably don't even know who they are. And yeah, I didn't even know who I was anymore. So yeah, this is indeed a Christmas tree, because there's so many colors, there's so many color key cards, or not key cards, but keys all around the place. 2 of them lead into the room with all of the keys, and the green door leads, well, to the exit room where we have to solve the final puzzle of the level. It's, once again, not a really long castle, but yeah, there's some pretty neat sections to it. And although most of the level will involve just cycling around the level and collecting the keys that we need in order to go forward, because we're gonna have to collect every single one of the keys, which is into the central room, so that we can beat the level. This section doesn't seem like much, but it is huge fun once that you've managed to beat all of it, and well, eventually we're gonna have to backtrack to it, and well, this is the best. Yeah, this room really is the equivalent of a Christmas tree, so I guess this is why they call this level Tannenbaum. It may seem some of the castle names have been randomly chosen, but oh no, they've been carefully pondered. So one of the nice things about this level is also, well, most of the castles in this level, no, not castle, but this level has pretty much no repetitive puzzles at all. It's pretty much one of the most straightforward level of the game. The only backtracking and all of this that you have to do is, well, the cycling around those rooms, so that, well, as long as you, as soon as you get the keys and all of this, well, you work your way forward in circles, collecting more and more keys, and well, that's pretty much all of the repetitiveness, and it's really not frustrating like some of the later level Baskerville. Yeah, I know I'm gonna rag on this one level a lot, but yeah, Baskerville is really that horrible, and I'm not looking forward to play this level at all. Absolutely not. And by the way, yeah, this is a thing which is kind of worth mentioning with the ray gun. It can only shoot one projectile at a time. I mean, it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but you're gonna need this knowledge later on for some of the puzzles, because sometimes you'll have to make it so that you shoot the ray gun so that, well, there's one projectile ahead while you walk in, while the projectile is still going, so that, well, you don't die. So yeah, you might notice that, well, since we got a gold key, we could finally get the first key, but unfortunately there's a trapdoor blocking the way. So this is probably one of the only puzzles that you have to solve and then come back later so that you eventually complete it. So here we go, we've completed pretty much the entire thing. Now we can pretty much start getting keys. Oh, or maybe not, because this is probably the longest room of the entire level, and even then it's not really that long. So basically you need to make sure that you turn off this conveyor belt, because there is no way back up, and if you forget to turn it off, there's no way to progress on with this castle. Because you need to cycle between the upper and the lower part of this level, and yeah, this is why we made it so that the gun is out of the door, because otherwise we will have been shut down with no possible way to leave. So yeah, that's pretty much the only repetitive part of the level, and it's honestly not that bad. It's pretty much not gonna take more than a minute and a half or so. So let's just get to... wait, no, I'm not gonna go into the door just yet. So. Yeah, for some reason I always thought that this ladder here was pretty scary, because you're really, really close to the gun and you just keep thinking, oh god, this gun is actually going to get me, but usually it doesn't. But there are some other levels where ray guns tend to be deceptive and you think you can outrun them and all of this, but you don't. You actually get shot and you die. And this is not a pleasant way to go. I wish you could break down those things just by shooting at them so hard, because we wouldn't actually need to do this backtracking. Sometime this game will require more character, more gutso. But that's okay. We also need some more games where the pacing and all of this is just a little bit more reflective, where you can just take a little bit more of your time and... yeah. Such good times. So anyway, what could I possibly talk about once again while I'm currently finishing up this puzzle, because we're pretty much already done, but yeah. Yeah, once all of the primary castles and all of this will be done, well, guess what? This game has a ROM-hack, and I'm probably going to play it. Basically, there's been a team of crackers back in 1985, and well, that was a year after the game was ported. They found out how to reverse engineer the game, and this led to the creation of the Dungeons of Dr. Creep, and as you'd expect from most ROM-hack, well, it's mostly horrible, but there's a few couple of moments there and there which are actually pretty interesting. They did manage to manipulate the engine of the game and to produce good things, but a whole part of the game is just dedicated to them just jerking around with random bullshit like invisible floor and stuff like that. Ugh. This is not the way that I really think games should be created and all of this. Because I really think that invisible floors and all of this is the most legitimately stupid design decision out there, because, well, you can't really think about what you could do to bypass an obstacle that, well, you're not even aware of. So yeah, that's just that going for you. But it's just so random, and basically most of the puzzles lying around invisible things and all of this are like, hey, we've got about 10 ropes which are fake, but one of them is actually a fake rope that you can slide through, but if you fuck up you're gonna die. But yes! Now I don't have to rag on about the game anymore, because we've just seen the best thing about this game. Teleporting endlessly around a million of teleporters. So that's basically the gist of what you have to do every single time once that, well, you finally clear the way. Now we're just gonna have to go back to this blue room here in order to finally obtain our first key, because we can finally access this with this path right here. Most of the future going around the level is just going to be cut out from now on, but, well, you just needed to get at least a feel of all of the backtracking that you have to do in order to get around the place. So now we've got the white key, and now we're just gonna have to backtrack to the white door. So let's go to this. Alright, it's been a pleasant journey to this door, and now we can finally get the second key that we need in order to complete the level. We got the green key! No wait, that's a lie. That's just right above us. Just to be a complete cocktease. But that's okay. At least you can get most of the keys in like 2 or 3 cycles around the level. So once again, this is a pretty short level, so this is really not a level in which you'll spend a lot of time to get into or anything like that. So let's just enjoy the wonderful scenery of a million of teleporters exploding in your head. I don't even remember which key I got, but that's okay. We're gonna find out together. Besides, we're just gonna go and solve this entire room while we're at it. Basically, this is how you do it. You just need to trap all of the mummies one by one, you just using the trapdoors. Don't make the mistake of just running down the whole floor and all of this, because, well, it's just not gonna work. Yeah. I swear that I have the worst short-term memory ever. In fact, I just picked up that key for like 2 or 3 seconds ago, and I couldn't even remember it's blue. This is just awful. But at least this mummy is not half fully alive. Yeah, for some reason, I just think that the mummies on this side of the screen are easier to kill with the trapdoor than the other ones. I really don't know why. I swear that I could explain those things, but I guess I can't. And it's pretty convenient that we get this key, because this is the one that we need for the very next room. Yeah, at least they really decided to make this really easy on you, because, well, instead of having to make you, well, the maximum amount of turns around the level or stuff like that, well, you can get something like 3 keys in one single run. So this is why this level is fairly short. We're already halfway done with this level. There, we're already back into this room. We didn't have the green key, but I guess this one will do. Yeah, in fact, we're more than halfway done. We only need we only need 2 more keys to go, so... With that said, we're just gonna go back to this mummy room that we went through earlier. We're almost back. You know that I can't resist this room one bit. This is just like riding a wonderful roller coaster with so many colors and all of this. That's just beautiful. And now we can finally get the final key that we need before we can finally reach the green key that will lead us to the exit room. So stay tuned as we go back to the main room again. And we're back! And it's about time that we finish this castle. We've underwent a perilous journey. Who am I kidding? This level is not perilous at all. This is more like a wonderful stroll onto the sidewalk where there's just dogs barking around. Except that the dogs are like huge zombies that want to eat your brains, but the first thing which happens is, well, they see a sliding pole and they want to slide it off because, well, this is such a wonderful thing to do. And this is the final room. Yeah, it's... Well, this room might look intimidating, but it's really not that much. Basically, you just need to turn off everything one piece by one piece, and, well, that's pretty much all that you need to do. Yeah, even though they're really near a trapdoor and they look like they're not possible, it's not possible to get to the switches. Well, you can get to the switches, because if you can get to the switches, how dire would it be? So here we go, the way to the exit has been opened, so the only logical thing is, well, to kill ourselves. No, just kidding. We're just gonna go and out. Oh, and yeah, this is really aptly named. There's Christmas tree outside. Oh, this is the best level. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not as original today, so we're just gonna settle for the good old has to sign in our performance of 13 minutes 53 seconds. And if you're wondering why the video lengths and all of this are longer than my playtime, it's because, well, whenever you're staring at the map screen and in between the time it takes to load the map screen and all of this, well, time doesn't elapse, so this is why. All of the constant timeout or something between those frames is pretty much what make it so that it takes longer. Although, well, the fact that I randomly cut out the backtracking and stuff that I do, well, it helps at least to ease up all of this. But anyway, the music is gonna be starting, so I'm gonna wish all of you goodbye and see you at the next castle.